Sometimes in life, we keep waiting for something magical to happen, a miracle that will suddenly change everything. We say to ourselves, one day, things will get better. One day, luck will find me. But that one day often never comes. We wait for the perfect time, the perfect chance, or the perfect sign from the universe. Yet deep down, we know, the world doesn't reward those who wait. It rewards those who act. We've all been there, hoping for miracles instead of creating them. But what if miracles aren't meant to be waited for? What if they are meant to be made by our own hands? This isn't just another story. It's a wake-up call. So, if you're tired of waiting for miracles that never come, listen carefully to this story, because it might just change the way you see destiny forever. Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by golden fields, there lived a young man named Leo. Leo was kind-hearted and full of dreams. He wanted to be successful, to make his family proud, to live a meaningful life. But Leo had one problem. He kept waiting for luck. Every time something didn't go his way, he said, "Maybe next time. Maybe life will change on its own." He believed that one day, a miracle would find him, a lucky opportunity, a sudden blessing, a twist of fate. So instead of taking small steps, he waited. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into years. And nothing changed. One morning, Leo wandered through the village market and saw an old blacksmith working tirelessly. The man's hands were rough, his face covered in soot, but his eyes shone with peace. Leo walked closer and asked, "Sir, you've been working all your life. Haven't you ever wished for an easier path? For a miracle to make life better?" The old man smiled and said, "My boy, let me tell you a story. Perhaps then, you'll understand what real miracles are." Once upon a time, a farmer found a huge stone blocking the entrance to his field. Every morning he looked at it and said, "This stone is too heavy. One day, God will send someone to move it for me." And so he waited. Days passed, weeks passed, seasons changed. The crops behind the stone began to wither. One day a traveler came by and saw the farmer staring at the stone. He asked, "Why don't you move it yourself?" The farmer replied, "It's impossible. Only a miracle could move it." The traveler smiled and handed him a small hammer. "Start with this. Miracles begin when you begin." At first the farmer laughed. How could such a tiny hammer move such a massive stone? But that night, he couldn't sleep. Something about those words echoed in his mind. So at sunrise he decided to try. Tap by tap, he struck the stone. For days, nothing happened. But he didn't stop. After a week, cracks began to appear. After a month, the stone split open, revealing a path to his crops. Behind it, the soil was rich, and his field flourished like never before. The farmer finally understood. The miracle wasn't the stone moving. The miracle was him. The moment he decided to act. The blacksmith looked into Leo's eyes and said softly, "Do you see, my boy? The miracle you're waiting for is buried inside your own effort." Leo was silent. For the first time, he realized how many years he had wasted waiting for life to change, instead of changing it himself. He went home that day with a heavy heart, but also with a spark of determination. The next morning, Leo woke up before sunrise. He started working on a small idea he had always postponed, building wooden toys to sell in the market. At first, his toys looked simple, even clumsy. But he didn't stop. Every day he improved a little. Weeks passed, and people began to notice. Children loved his toys. Parents admired his craftsmanship. His small stand turned into a workshop, and his workshop turned into a business. Leo finally smiled and whispered to himself, "I was waiting for a miracle. But all along, the miracle was waiting for me to begin." Years later, Leo became known as one of the most successful craftsmen in the region. People often came to him for advice, asking, "What's the secret to your success?" He always replied, "Don't wait for miracles. Your actions create them." The same village that once saw him as a dreamer now saw him as an inspiration, because he had learned that destiny doesn't favor those who sit still. It favors those who move forward with faith and effort. In real life, too, miracles aren't found in the clouds. They're forged in the fire of persistence. Every dream you chase, every effort you make, every time you choose to begin instead of waiting, you create a small miracle. Remember, destiny is not written by luck. It's written by action. And miracles don't come to those who wait. They come to those who believe enough to act. So, if you've been waiting for something magical to happen, this is your sign. Start today. Take one small step toward your dream. Because sometimes, the smallest step can open the biggest door. If you like this story, give it a like, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that will touch your heart and awaken your spirit. Until next time, stay hopeful, stay kind, and keep creating your own miracles.